2014-15 men's basketball season ended Thursday with a loss in Big Rapids to the Ferris State Bulldogs. It ended the Lakers' 3-game winning streak that gave a glimpse of good things to come for next season. Joining us now to talk about it, assistant coach Jeff Bauer. It was a turbulent season. Let's be honest, a lot of injuries, things, the coulda, shoulda, wouldas. I'm sure now that it's over, you can take inventory on it and think about it. I mean, and probably the last thing you really wanted to do was go up there and lose by 22, but that game really got out of hand fast.
Yeah, in terms of the season, obviously it wasn't what we were hoping for. We had pretty good, high expectations coming in with a decent year last year, losing only one guy. And just things didn't work out. Like you said, we had a bunch of injuries to key guys. It wasn't just, ordinary guys. Missing AJ for 3/4 of the season was a huge piece for us. And really, thinking about it, he really didn't have a chance to practice. He played in some games, but really he probably played more games than he got a chance to practice in. So that was a key thing for us, not just him, but our team. And then at the end, we got some of those guys back, and we're able to get a little bit of momentum and kind of feeling good about ourselves, and went up to Ferris. And it's always something there. It's always a production. It's senior night. They've got things going on. They've got a circus in town and all that stuff usually for us. But they came out of the gate and played really hard, and Lehman really set the tone with making a lot of threes and stuff. And his will there kind of flew through their team a little bit, and we had a tough start with them.
Now here's some of the highlights, Jeff. Why don't you take a look at some of these and talk about it a little bit here.
Well, offense was tough. Ryan starting off the game was really the only guy who had anything going. That's Drake Barr, who probably finished, that was his best game. I think he had 7 and maybe 4 rebounds or so, and hit a 3, and played a little stronger around the basket, which was a good thing for us. And there he is picking and popping on a 3 right there, and that's one thing he's got to do in his future. He's a really good shooter, so he's got to continue that. There's Lehman hitting one of his, I don't know how many 3s he hit in the first half, but it was a lot.
This was a situation where your team came out ice cold. It seemed like shooting 35% from the floor for the game, and they came out just on fire. And when you have that kind of a dynamic going on, I mean, it was like national anthem play. Next thing you know, you were down by 20, and you knew it was going to be tough sledding to try to get back into that basketball game. Right.
As a coach, you try to find things, is what we're doing, the personnel kind of things we're doing, is it working, is it not working? So we tried a couple different things, and kind of mixed reviews a little bit. We tried to change our offense, change our personnel there late in the first half. We went small for a little while, which seemed to help a little bit for a minute. And then second half, we tried to revamp and come out with a different offense to kind of get some more post touches in there, which we got to the foul line a bit. We got a couple out of bounds plays, but it didn't really reflect on the scoreboard.
It seemed like turnovers were an issue too. You had 14 of them, and Ferris was able to convert those into 19 points.
Yeah, that was a problem all year long for us, turning the ball over. Sometimes it was just bad decisions. In the case of Ferris, it was trying to do too much, probably trying to generate too much offense by myself, and wrong place, wrong time, which really hurt us. And then they had some run-out baskets for layups and stuff off those too. So
a lot of great players in this team, but let's talk about Ryan Saban for a second here. He closed out his Grand Valley career in this game, scored 12 points, but he goes down to the record books as the Lakers' all-time leader in career free throw percentage at 85.1%. That's pretty impressive. Where do you think Ryan Saban lands in the pantheon of great Grand Valley men's basketball players?
He's probably one of the more balanced guys in terms of top whatever at his position. I don't know. But I do know he's been very solid, and really solid in every aspect of the game. He came in as a freshman and was actually pretty good on defense. We recruited him as a shooter, and obviously he had a good career making 3s and everything. But just the other things really surprised us. Early in his career, his freshman year, I remember he started a few games, and he was very good about getting steals and maybe one of our best wing defenders. And he, from day one, he had a pretty good knack about being able to not just shoot, but really drive to the basket and finish with his right hand, his left hand. So all those things were really positives for Ryan, and they just were from day one. And later in his career, obviously he had the 3-ball going, but his ability to complement himself, to get a driving game, to get a pull-up game, and really the last 2 weeks of this season for us, his ability, we put him on the best player, we put him on Kyle Cooper, we put him on some of the better players in the conference, and he did a phenomenal job of defending them, be it on the perimeter and the post. So really just the all-around game for Ryan was extremely solid. I don't think he shot the three ball as well this past year as certainly he wanted to and maybe we wanted him to. But he did other things, and it really helped our team, and it really balanced him out, which I think speaks to Ryan just as a complete player, not just as a shooter.
All right, now the focus starts on recruiting and trying to rebuild for next season. Thanks for joining us today. All right,
Thank you, Brett.
Jeff, you bet. We'll be back with a look at the Lakers' performance in the GLIAC Track and Field Championships.